We propose to dismantle two cabinet departments, Energy and Education. Both secretaries are wholly in accord with this. Some of the activities in both of these departments will, of course, be continued either independently or in other areas of government. There's only one way to shrink the size and cost of big government, and that is by eliminating agencies that are not needed and are getting in the way of a solution. Now, we don't need an energy department to solve our basic energy problem. As long as we let the forces of the marketplace work without undue interference, the ingenuity of consumers, business, producers, and inventors will do that for us. Similarly, education is the principal responsibility of local schools, systems, teachers, parents, citizen boards, and state governments. By eliminating the Department of Education less than 2 years after it was created, we can not only reduce the budget, but ensure that local needs and preferences, rather than the wishes of Washington, determine the education of our children.
Separating the truth from the lies. Coming at you from underneath Newton, Georgia. Heavily chemtrailed, sun-simulated sky. Yes, indeed, it is the shock treatment. So I got in the mail today, or we got in the mail today, something called Petition Support H.R. 899. And I was like, okay, what's that? Had to open up the envelope to see what it was about. And what I saw was terminate the public Department of Education. You kidding me? That's a great start right there. A nice start to my day anyway. Seeing that in the mail. And I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more. At the beginning of the video, you saw what Ronald Reagan had to say about the Department of Energy and Department of Education. Put it in pretty much private hands, private sector's hands. They'll do the work for you, right? And I agree with that. So the thing is here, considering the public education, hold on folks, concerning public education, we dang sure need to get the government's hands off of it, because really they're part of the problem. So in 1980, Ronald Reagan, hold on folks, I'm struggling here with the technology. As always, I want to get into this. Let's just say H.R. 899 has been long overdue. Long overdue. It's time to get the government, big government, out of the education sector. Heck, it's time for government to just shrink. You know, it's getting too big. And if we had, well, let's just say if we had a commie in there, it'd be even bigger. But in 1980, Ronald Reagan promised to get rid of the Department of Education that was started by Jimmy Carter just a year before. Reagan was betrayed by the same type of establishment Republicans that now threaten Donald Trump. In 96, the Republican Party platform said, and I put it in quotes, federal government has no constitutional authority to be involved in school curriculum, but yet Common Core, right? That is why I put that in there, but yet Common Core, right? That's my 2 cents. Let's pick up on the quote. That is why we will abolish the Department of Education and federal meddling in our schools and promote family choice at all levels of learning, unquote. Republicans lost the presidential race that year. So Republicans lost in 96, and the Department of Education survived. Today you and I have a new chance. Now listen to this. I got this in the mail. Today you and I have a new chance. I don't know if you got in the mail. During the recent campaign, Trump called for slashing the Department of Education budget. He certainly sees the danger, and I'm quite certain that new Education Secretary Betsy DeVos would gladly see her position ended if it meant the end of the Department of Education. I'm going to lead into something with this. I'm going to piggyback off of it. So that'll be a victory. Good. That'll be a victory for everybody. So let's take the right action today, folks. If you got this in the mail, or if there's a way for you to call your congressman, you want the Department of Education to be terminated, and if all goes according to plan, the Department of Education shall be terminated soon. Soon, 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 soon. How soon? Well, according to the letter that I got today, it said December of 2018. Apparently, this is still on the table, still in Congress, from what I gather, because it says in the next page I had in this mail, it says, "Oh, here we go again. Here we go again." Hold on, folks. Unbelievable, man. It says those are the entire content of a new bill, H.R. 899. This bill was introduced. It was by courageous Congressman Thomas M.A.C.E, Republican of Kentucky. It's revolutionary. Will end the destruction of America's educational system, which I will touch on that in a second. Being a former teacher here, and it should have been introduced 37 years ago when it was. Soon after it was implemented. But no Republican has had the courage to do the right thing in all of those years until now. That's why Massey's asking for you guys to stand courageous with him and to help him out get this thing passed. Because, like I said, it said December of 2018, which already passed, they wanted it to end Department of Education. Obviously, there's still a struggle going on, just like there was years ago with this. This is what you and I have been waiting for. It's the end of the federal government messing with the minds of our children. Now listen to those words, folks. It's the end of the federal government messing with the minds of our children and indoctrinating them with leftist, communist propaganda. That's right, folks. That's what your school is doing. It's lies. It's all lies. The end of Common Core. I'm going to stop right there. As you watch this teacher, is she easy on the eyes? I don't know. I haven't been looking. She's all right. She's look-at-able. Yeah, she's all right. But she's a middle school teacher, so that's why I chose this one, because I was a middle school teacher. And let me just say this. I left the profession for reasons that of harassment, all right? Because that's what goes on. I know I'm digressing, but that's what also goes on, and I've covered that in a video. These administrators that are very abusive, the government, first of all, does need to get their fingers out of the cookie jar and let us have, the teachers have the create. Let them be creative, in other words. Don't teach to the test. That's all it was. It gets boring. Constantly having to teach to the test. I don't know how these kids sit like that. I mean, I don't know how I did it. The same old thing, same old drill, same old drill, same old things. I mean, they get bored with this stuff, right? But Common Core, I was like, what the heck, Common Core? It just felt New World Order-ish. Here we go again. Here we go again. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. But there you go. Stop. Stop. Idiot. Freaking, I can't stand technology. It's getting on my damn nerves, man. Is it the Matrix, as Ron Johnson of the dark side? Stranger Than Fiction News would say. See, it was around 2011. They kept bringing up Common Core was going to be implemented, and I was like, I don't want none of that. I was thinking to myself, we don't want none of this. Who wants to be common? But that's what they want. The New World Order wants nothing but sheep. They want you to be a robot. They're little slaves, right? They open up the top of your skull and they pour the information, the propaganda in there. They close it up, and it's just like, and you be a good little sheeple, right? So Common Core just struck me as something not good. I didn't know anything about it at the time, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. All I know is it's common. Who the hell wants to be common? But see, that's where we're going in this generation. You see the monkey see, monkey do's, right? The Duck Dynasty beards, it's popular on the show, then everybody, every 20-something all of a sudden looks like Abraham Lincoln or a terrorist. Unbelievable, man. I've never seen anything like this in my life. And then you got, the monkey see, monkey do, common. You remember that cartoon Trolls with the different color hair? You got them they watch the cartoon, then they become it, right? Purple hair, blue hair, pink hair. I mean, common. Then it becomes common. If everybody's doing it, you're not original. It's not original, all right? Tattoos, for instance, used to be like pretty much original. Very rare anybody had one. Now everybody and their brother has one. Common, right? Becomes common. Common Core. Common in the education. Dumbing us down, making us generic. And, it's so... the math alone is ridiculous. It's ridiculous from what I've seen. I'm not an expert in it. I'm out of profession 7 years. I left because of harassment from administrators. And they do that, folks. Here we go again. Just bear with me. One-man show. One-man show. Always, always, always remember that. So, the thing is, I gotta figure out why it does it. So I left because of that reason, and not just me. About 4 or 5 other teachers left, and/or were railroaded unjustly. But see, that's why we have M.A.C.E, Metro Association of Classroom Educators. I'll show you that. For you educators out there, you need M.A.C.E. Forget GAE, the Georgia Association of Educators, and PAGE. They don't do crap for you, and they also enroll the administrators. So if you have a conflict with your administrator, who do you think they're going to defend? It ain't you, all right? But M.A.C.E will defend you. Well, let me get back to what I was saying. So Common Core and the government, in control all the more. And that's just what we don't need, man. Give this back to the local level, or state or local level. Let the local folks, let the parents, as it said. I think Reagan, did he say that? No, in the letter said that I just read. Have a say-so in the education. Let the teachers have the reins. I mean, the teachers basically now, they're just, their hands are tied for the most part, Unless you're a yes man. I mean, you could run certain things by the administrator, but they're very strict. They just don't allow the things that teachers of yesteryear were allowed to do, like be original and be creative to an extent. I mean, I had people tell me, veteran teachers, when I first started, they said, "Why are you here?" They looked at me cross, like, oh, I was crazy. "Why are you here?" I said, and I told them why, and they said, "Well, I'm getting out of here. This ain't what it used to be." And that was before Common Core came along. So the Department of Education needs to get out. They need to terminate it. And basically, this indoctrination system, they just need to do away with this whole indoctrination system altogether, and start telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So a lot of this is, here we go again. Just bear with me, folks. I'm getting aggravated with this crap. All right, there we go. We're back again. Looking at the classroom. The classroom. Joe Embriano says, they have a lot of, what do they call, access points in there. Radiation, the computers, the laptops, radiation, which is true. But that's a side note. And what I was saying was, they just need to turn this over to the local. Let the local, the counties or the state level, however they want to do it, but the federal level, they need to do away with that. But really, this whole thing's, I don't know, sitting in the classroom, the information they give you just really kind of disinformation. But I don't want to go too far with that. But the Common Core is just designed to drive them batshit crazy, and the parents. I mean, they're loading these kids up. They took away recess. They're loading them up with sugar and crappy food in the school. I mean, crap. Is it GMO'd and pesticided? And then they make them sit down all freaking day, man. And then they give them homework on top of it. I mean, when do these kids get a chance to go outside and have recess during the day like they used to? I do just read. When? Well, sitting down all day is no good for you either. And they wonder why the kids are obese. They get no exercise, and then you want to load them up with homework afterwards. I mean, it's enough to tear your hair out, right? But I just wanted to bring up HR 899. Get the government out of the educational system. Personally, if it was me, I used to be a big proponent of public education, but now I see it for what it is. It's just part of the beast system. Is all it is, and it is indoctrinating. It's communist. They're turning them into communist. Be who you want to be. Who are you? Are you a boy? Are you a girl? Or something else? I mean, there's a lot of not good stuff that kids, if they're not really strongly grounded in moral values and what they've been taught by their parents. I mean, well, here we go. Providing that they are, hold on, you catch a glimpse of the Shockinator's chair over there. maybe I'll point it over here by Pastor Paul Begley's show he's got going on. But what I was saying was, I used to be a big proponent of public education, but when I actually got into it and I saw it for what it is and how the people are, and there's a lot of demonic people in it, and there's a lot of good teachers that mean well, but there's a lot of higher ups that are really wolves in sheep's clothing. You get to see that the deep state's really in all parts of the governmental system, and then you start realizing this ain't all it's cracked up to be. You really should homeschool these kids. I used to be like homeschooling, think it was kind of silly. Nah, them homeschoolers got their act together, man. They're well-rounded. Their social skills, because I've worked with them. I've seen them. I've talked to them, and I do a comparison. They're just all the well, I think, just well-rounded. We'll leave it at that. Like, and they have a good Christian values. They seem clean. They seem clean-cut. and the head's screwed on straight. They don't look like cartoons for the most part. I've never seen one that look like a cartoon yet. A homeschool kid. They seem like they have the head screwed on straight, that they finish their work sooner and they're going to college sooner. Which I hope they're going to a Christian one and not one of these freaking Luciferian ones that freaking communists have infiltrated all over the damn place. Communists, like a freaking C word that rhymes with answer. Anyway, this video is just a day in the life of a teacher, which is really tough. It's a lot. If you do the job right, it's a lot of work. I've seen teachers that come in 8:15 with one with a hickey on her neck, big one, covered up, wearing a freaking damn turtleneck, propping their feet up, filing nails, while the kids, I don't know what they were doing. They were sitting in their seat doing something. What was it, paperwork? Handouts? Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Public education is in public indoctrination, just like that, what I said before in that letter for the HR 899. That's all it is. What do you guys think? Do you think the government should get the hell out of the education system? What are your thoughts? Do you think they should turn it just over to the local level? I think so. I mean, it's just pure insanity what's going on with the Common Core. Common. Always remember Common. Do you want to be Common? Well, I'll tell you what. Shakalaka is far from Common. That's why I stick out in this society. At times I really don't even fit in because I'm not Common. I'm not generico. And I've seen that. A lot of genericness nowadays. A lot. It's that herd mentality and monkey see, monkey do sort of thing, you know? And they're driving like bats out of hell, the dumbing down of society. They can't park anymore. I mean, good golly, Miss Molly. Where's home ec in this school system? Why did they take out home ec? I don't hear much about home ec anymore. Remember that? The good old days? I never personally took it, but I'm glad that they offered it. It's good to do. And life skills they need to teach, too, you know? Instead of bogging them down with idiotic, stupid curriculum like Common Core. Common. Whatever you do, guys and gals, don't be common. Don't be common. Be original. Be you. God made each and every one different, just like supposedly every snowflake's different. Well, we mean the snowflakes that fall from above, the chemtrails variety. Not the snowflakes on the ground that need this safe space. Need your freaking safe space? That's the crap they teach now in public education. You need your safe space. Speaking of which, I want to show you this crap, if I could find it. Hold on. Did you guys check this out? Comrade. Yes. They're calling each other.
Guys, first of all, James Jackson, Sacramento, he, him. I just want to say, can we please keep the chatter to a minimum? I'm one of the people who's very, very prone to sensory overload.
This is what happens when you go to public education. You know, their indoctrination, sensory overload.
Please do not use gendered language to address
gender.
Wow. You know
Unbelievable, man. Comrade, huh? Niet comrade. All right, folks, but we're going to end it with this. I mean, I couldn't believe that with the sensory overload. The chatter, I can't do this, I can't do that. I need my safe space. I think they actually had safe spaces there, too, they said. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this shit is Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone, man. It was like just wicked Twilight Zone the way they acted. Acting like morons, but control freaks at the same time. Don't do this. Use a certain kind of gesture if you need to. Don't applaud. Don't. I mean, I was like, are you kidding me? Oh man, nothing but insanity over there. Nothing but insanity. They're in absolute insanity. Sensory overload, huh? How about commie overload? That's what they had. Fake news overload and demonic overload. That's what they got on the socialist side. Idiots. But take a look, educators. If you're still working for the indoctrination system, if you're in Georgia, in the Atlanta area, drop Page, drop GAE, and get M.A.C.E. M.A.C.E is the place. The South's toughest and most feared union for teachers. I want you to look this up now. TheTeachersAdvocate.com. All right? TheTeachersAdvocate.com. You see that right up there. Do I have to do all the work? And delve within. But everything that they stand against is what I faced. Angry, arrogant, abusive administrators. Yes, they do. They abuse classroom educators. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. All right. And there's Dr. John Trotter. You don't mess with that guy. As administrators, they shrink from him. They don't want none. This guy take a bullhorn, pickets, and signs and picket. with a bullhorn, and he knows the law. What is it? Educational laws? Because he's an attorney. Was or is, I can't remember, but he knows his stuff. I'll tell you what. GAE old, Page cheap. Believe me, I had GAE and I had Page. They suck. Yeah, they suck in your money. All right. So that's it for now. HR 899. Get the government out of the education system, and also get the UN out of America, and get America out of the UN. Until next time, you receive the shock treatment. At any rate, shakalaka from I'm out. You received the shock treatment.